Is this a stylus?
It is a stylus.
I thought it was a power button, and I was like, oh my god, it came off!
Hey everybody, welcome to H4G. We're rocking the GameCom today. So many different iterations of the GameCom that you probably didn't know existed. So many games for the GameCom. This thing had third-party support. It had a touchscreen. It had 2 cartridge slots. It's
the handheld system you have to plug in to get online with a modem, a dial-up modem.
Game.com. Yes, and I've been playing a lot of this system to prep for this review here.
Oh my god. Can't you see what it's doing to you, Tony?
No, what?
Look at his eyes!
GameCom.
This is a machine of the devil. It must be destroyed.
So before we jump into the GameCom itself, let's
get drunk.
That's fair. Let's talk a little bit about the history of Tiger Electronics, the creators of the GameCom.
Tiger puts arcade action in the palm of your hand. Games like Mega Man 2. Fight your way through 8 stages of play as you attempt to defeat the villainous Dr. Wily, his evil dragon, and his 6 deadly robots to win.
You may remember the sort of single game LCD Tiger Electronics games.
I played some of them growing up. I think I had like an X-Men one. Mm-hmm. They were super simple, probably about on the level of a Game & Watch. Mm-hmm. If you Smash fans know Mr. Game & Watch, he's
from Game & Watch.
Yeah.
Go figure.
What a concept.
Exactly, right? So, Tiger Electronics wanted to kind of move on from these single unit games and create something akin to like the Game Boy or the Virtual Boy.
Oh dear.
With a cartridge-based handheld system. So they created the RZone.
If you think Virtual Fighter is as real as it gets, then it's time to break into a whole new fist-in-your-face reality as Virtual Fighter rips into the RZone.
And God, what a sucker was I at that age that I both owned an RZone and wanted a Virtual Boy. Thank goodness my parents wouldn't buy me one.
Your parents were too smart for that shit.
Right.
As Mortal Kombat 3 bashes its way into the RZone.
Use the backbreaker! Awesome!
You will meet all your enemies.
Ring chop!
In this startling new dimension.
They're right in my face!
As Virtual Fighter rips into the RZone.
Use the backbreaker! Awesome!
The noblest battle of them all.
Ring chop!
So real.
They're right in my face!
So I had a buddy in elementary school. Parents bought one. I was psyched for it. We were talking earlier, they really marketed sort of a VR sort of thing for it because it had like a visor that came down, whatever. I got it on and I couldn't even see what was happening. I think I played like a Mortal Kombat or a Street Fighter, something like that. I can't remember. And it was just almost unplayable.
The controls were terrible. The screen was incredibly difficult to see. It still kind of looked cool. Yeah. Having it on your head, it looked futuristic and everything, and then even past all of that, the games were basically on the level of your Tiger Electronics one-off games.
But it was red.
Right.
Yeah.
But you've still got limited controls. You can be here, 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 but nowhere in between.
Exactly. I'm kind of a Virtual Boy apologist, if you will, but when you think of a system being a knockoff Virtual Boy, you're in trouble. So they didn't really end there. They wanted to upgrade. So they thought, well, what if we got rid of the visor and we made it into a handheld system? Again, you'd have same cartridges, would be compatible across all versions. It'd be a mirrored display, but it'd be more like a Game Boy. Never heard of this? I don't blame you. There was actually a third version of the RZone that was essentially like a miniature arcade unit. The reason why we're giving you this history is because Tiger Electronics likes to take a bad idea and run with it. Basically.
And it's, with these RZone enhancements, it's like, what was one thing the RZone did right? It looked kind of cool.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of that and keep doing the same thing.
So that brings us to the GameCom. Instead of competing with the Virtual Boy, they decided, let's start competing with the big dog, the Game Boy. They created a system that was super futuristic. And I'll give them this. It had a touchscreen. It had 2 cartridge inputs. Hell, what does that remind you of? The DS, right? Stylus, all that good stuff. But it had a couple of problems.
Yeah.
One of the big complaints about it was like really damn hard to see what was going on.
It's not the only handheld console that's had that problem. I remember the Game Boy Advance, before they added a backlight in some of the future iterations. That one you kind of had to get yourself right in the light the right way, but there were actually good games on that system, so it was a little bit of a different story.
I mean, with the Game Boy Advance, the original one, you know, you get the right light and you're okay. With this, you get the right light, you get the right angle, and you pray to God. It was just so bad.
The screen is a pile of garbage.
Yeah. It has what's called ghosting.
It's kind of like your character is teleporting from here to here, and you're just leaving a nice big dust cloud where you used to be, like your Nightcrawler or something.
Basically. Nice X-Men reference, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Like the RZone, they decided to upgrade it.
Oh, boy.
Meet the GameCom Pocket Pro. They eliminated the second cartridge port. It has a slightly different feel, a little more texture to it. No internet capability because no one was using it anyways. It was totally just like text-based, you know. And that was it. It's not like you can go look at a website or, you know, have slowly load a boob or something like that, like we would want back in the late 90s. So a couple of improvements here. So they got rid of some things, right, that you might think would be crucial, but they weren't. Improved screen, and what they marketed as a backlight, which was actually a front light. The screen has less ghosting. Not a lot less. We'll take a look in a second to really see if there's a significant difference. So then they decided, you know what? Let's make a different model, right? So they went from the GameCom to the GameCom Pocket Pro to another version of the GameCom Pocket Pro. Here's the original packaging with all the original paperwork and everything. Multicolored skeleton or translucent case. They got rid of the light, which was the only saving grace of the other one, really. But they kept the minimalized ghosting.
The ultimate portable game system. Library of incredible games, about 20. Built-in extras. Solitaire game. Great. Phone dictionary. Check that out. I'm gonna go turn on my GameCom, struggle to look at the screen when I could have just opened my address book. Awesome graphics and animation. We'll see about that. Exceptional music, sound, and speech. Touchscreen interface.
Essentially, everything that said was a lie. You know, I mean, the technical stuff, yeah, it's true, but like, amazing list of games, like all this great functionality, it was essentially, I mean, it's all just marketing, right?
Oh boy. I bet people would really be pissed off if I said it reminded me a lot of Trump's campaign. Oh man, I'm not gonna have any fans tomorrow.
He is a master marketer. I mean, you gotta give him that.
That's true. This kind of tastes like Club Fefe.
It does, actually, as a matter of fact. Now let's talk about the games that I have.
Uh-oh. This is where the review really, I mean, you thought it was bad, but this is where the plane goes down.
Exactly. So there were 20 games released for the GameCom, and 21 cartridges. So 20 games and one cartridge was an internet cartridge. I have 14 of those.
Oh, God.
I also have an empty box because one game didn't show up in the mail.
Woo, so boy, dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, exactly. The seller was actually doing me a favor. You know, we're going to be showing each game, and we're going to be showing a couple of games on the different versions of the GameCom so you can see the difference. And we're also going to be answering a question. Oh, drink up, Richie. Drink up. Because we're answering the question, are some of these games salvageable?
No.
Is it just the screen that's holding some of these games back?
Probably not.
So not only are we going to be playing on the different versions, we're also going to be playing on an emulator, so we won't have to worry about the screen at all. One thing to note about my original GameCom is that I kind of picked this one up on the cheap. It has a lot of dead pixels on it. I just wanted to have it on hand to show you guys. So we're going to be showing some footage from this, but a lot of the footage is going to be on the other versions. But just for comparison, some of it's going to be on this.
Ah, the famous Sonic the Hedgehog theme. Oh my God. What the heck is going on? This looks terrible. I can kind of tell where I am. Oh, look at that slowdown. Holy shit. This is a travesty. But at least it's got the classic Sonic tunes. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh my god, get up. Get up. I can totally tell it's Sonic 3 and not Sonic 2 now. Oh, it's still slowing down like a motherfucker. I mean, the screen does look a little bit better, but the slowdown is still horrendous.
Second time this alien bastard shot up my
Oh, nope, I crashed.
I'm just being rear-ended by Segosauruses. So you can see here a lot of these games, like we mentioned before, are third-party titles. And you may be wondering, my God, why? Why did these third parties create these awful games? And the answer is, in the vast majority of cases, they didn't. These games were actually developed by Tiger, which is why they're so bad.
And I guess we all sort of lucked out that Tiger didn't ultimately decide to take the Sega route after they got out of the hardware game and start developing software.
Yeah. You know, that also kind of answers the question of why would Sega, you know, allow Sonic to be on here? Why would all these companies allow, you know, their games to be on the GameCom? Again, it was just an easy payday because Tiger was doing all the legwork.
Yeah, sure, we'll give you some licensing rights.
Right.
What the hell?
Just like Tiger developed all of those single unit handhelds. Look at Batman.
Oh my
He's like,
God.
He stopped eating.
I can even see the Tiger graffiti on the screen
I know.
now. That's so terrible.
If the frame rate was fixed on this, it could have actually been a decent beat 'em up. But the frame rate's so bad that it's.
Well, I mean, the enemies are behaving totally nonsensically.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Oh, that's a zombie. Did I win?
See, I couldn't even get the gun to work when I played it.
How do I point the gun at myself? It's more playable than it was on the GameCom, I'll give it that.
All right.
But it's still bad. Bye.
Let's get out of here.
You've heard that like 5 times. You knew that wasn't it.
No. So, we gotta read the back of this.
Guaranteed, this is the most frustrating, irritating, infuriating sound and memory game you'll ever play. Editor's note, crowded category. Very crowded category. Back to the explicit text. Matching sounds and pictures on a game board sounds easy, but that's only because you haven't met Henry. The consummate confounder and master manipulator. An award-winning brain teaser. Easy to learn, impossible to master.
This isn't a brain teaser. This is just like randomized tiles. I like how they knew their game was crappy, and they were just like, it's gonna be wacky. Oh, that was pretty good.
I love how the system can't even handle its own animation for inserting the cartridge.
I know.
Well, I can at least see what's going on
Yeah,
now.
that's a plus. So just like other systems that were canceled prematurely, although in this case not really prematurely, it had canceled titles, but the canceled titles for this system are kind of unique.
Yeah, there were some big names on there, like they were planning a port of Symphony of the Night for this system. I can't imagine how bad that would have turned out to be. Same thing with Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So, that said, really, realistically, was anything salvageable out of all of this?
Well, I mean, when we played it on emulator and got the screen out of the way, it was definitely better.
Okay.
It was definitely better. I could actually see what was going on, but it was still bad.
Yes. I don't know. There's just a lot of bad games. There's a couple games that are okay.
At best.
I do have a soft spot for Duke Nukem. It was not bad. It
Sure,
kind
it
of
wasn't.
played just like an on-rail shooter, which was fine. I think it was better than Duke Nukem Forever, which I got a lot of shit for saying in our Duke Nukem Forever review, but I stand by that statement.
At the same time, I'm glad I had parents who were smarter than me at that age that saved me from the trouble of playing these games back in the day.
Exactly.
When I would have been disappointed because that would have been like my game for the month there.
Yeah, well, to our parents for not buying us this garbage.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for subbing and clicking that notification button so you know when our videos are coming out, and we'll see you guys next time. Oh, also, real quick, before you guys go, in collecting these, we got some extras. So we're going to do a little bit of a giveaway. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to give them away to our Patreon supporters. First Patreon supporter to say that they want one in our Patreon-only Discord chat, you'll get sent one. And the first new Patreon supporter, who's new to Patreon, who signs up, jumps on, does the same thing, you'll get one too. So we'll give them to one old Patreon supporter and one new one. How about that?
So we're going to be giving it to one old Patreon supporter.
Yeah. Fuck you, Rich. Thank you again for watching, everybody. If you would like to see the disappointing moment when I showed everyone that I bought a GameCom, click or tap the video above. Also above is a playlist on the Japanese-only WonderSwan handheld system. So if you're into quirky little handhelds, that is definitely a playlist to check out. Thank you again, and we'll see you next time.